And I'm the host of actually three video podcasts now. I do one on Mondays at noon for the Bright Business Talk Show, and we talk about purpose driven business and lives. We have conversations about all kinds of different things. It's really fun. And then I have another show that I do called Bold Leadership Stories, and we talk about experiences shaping exceptional lives. And that's a lot of fun too. I've done a really ton of about 130, not a ton, but 130 so interviews on that show, and mostly people in my local area, and it's a lot of fun too. I've got a third one that I'm starting that I'm really excited about, and it's called the Wealthy Healthy Live Show. And what we do is we have honest talk about health and building generational wealth. So, uh, and then this one I'm doing just for fun during the day. I have a daily live that I'm doing just to keep myself in tune, if you will. And it's just fun. I want to see if we can get some conversations going. If you happen to check this out, you're on Facebook or you happen to see me on LinkedIn and you want to say hi, go ahead, just chime in, say hi. I'm going to give you a shout out here live on the show. I'm hoping I can see your comments. I'm on a brand new platform for doing these live streams, and I'm really learning how to use it. So I may not see your comment, but just bear with me. I'll learn as I go here. So yesterday we did a live. I did a live, and we talked a bit about millennials and Gen Z, how their lives, their financial realities are shaping their lives right now. And we talked about there was I think 13 topics in the article that I found, and we only covered six yesterday. So I felt like, well, let's just finish that up today. So that's what I'm going to do. And Craig says, "Hey, Craig, what's going on, buddy? I see congratulations, Jim." He says your voice is cutting in and out. Check your audio. Thanks, I appreciate that from the radio guy. Okay, I got an expert coming in. I don't know what to do with that, Craig. I'll have to check that in. I appreciate the feedback. Let's see, maybe spin some dials here. See what I can do. Maybe it's the microphone is not set right. I'll try that. See if that works better. Yeah, we'll just go with it. Um, so let's see. I'm gonna bring up the article that we talked about, and this is it. This is the candid look at the financial realities shaping millennial and Gen Z lives today. We talked a little bit about who the Gen Z and millennials are, and kind of what their uh, attitudes are to somewhat, according to Zendesk, and continue on with this. So there was stagnation of wages that's going on. It hasn't kept up with inflation. That's a big one. That's a burden for the millennials and the Gen Zs right now. Actually, it was a burden for us too. And when I was growing up, we went through an inflation period. And then there's student loan debt. It's a crushing burden. Yeah. Homeownership feels like an impossible dream. It may seem that way, but it's not. You can figure it out. I know you can. If you really want it, you'll get it. Gig economy jobs lack stability and benefits. Yeah, I'd agree with that. But it's a job. It's not going to solve everything. It's just there. It's an opportunity for you to make a few extra bucks as you're working through, making things happen. It's a great thing for some people and not so great for others. Great to have the option though. And then what's next? Number five is healthcare costs are significantly higher. Yes, yes, and yes. The healthcare system is definitely broken, and we are working. I know things are happening to get better at doing that. I talked about yesterday a program that I offer called Health Sharing, Impact Health Sharing. And it's amazing, saving. individuals and businesses between 30 and 70% on their health care, going down from for a family of four, maybe at $2,300 a month for their health care down to somewhere around 650 bucks a month. Significant savings and better coverage too. So there are options. So just don't give up hope. Just keep looking. The sixth one is that retirement savings are harder to build. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. They are harder to build. It's tougher, inflation and got all these costs. Heck, it's what, $17 for a hamburger at Jack in the Box. That was, I could not believe how much that was just for a hamburger. No fries, no Coke, just a hamburger, 17 bucks. So yeah, it's harder to build a nest egg for yourself. But again, you can do it. I know you can. There's a way to do it. There's ways to do it. There's tons of ways to build income, passive and residual ways. You can use our fabulous internet now to do that. And there's really no excuses anymore for having the ability to make additional income. And do it while you're sleeping. That old saying that making money while you sleep is important. Well, it is, and it's getting easier and easier, and it's getting more and more important to do. It's actually not an option anymore. If you're working for somebody else and you are just getting a salary, you're falling behind. And it's hard to say it, but that's the way it is. So you need to figure out how to make additional income somehow. And that's my belief. So here we go. On to the new stuff. This is number 7. The child care costs rival college tuition. And let's see. I think for younger generations with children, it says cost of childcare can be as high as or even exceed college tuition. This makes working outside the home a financial trade-off, with many spending a significant portion of their income on childcare. Unlike previous generations where one income often sufficed, today's families face this immense strain daily. Yeah, wow. It's pretty crazy when you think about you have to work, you're away from your kids while you're working, and then you got to pay childcare, but then you don't have enough money to pay the childcare, so you got to get another job, be away from the kids more. It's really tough. So again, it comes down to well, figure out a way to make money in another way, and that's really what this is all about. Is looking for ways that you can make additional money passively or residually. Talk about that with your special someone, with your network. Figure out how to do it for yourself, and don't take this missed opportunity to have an amazing life here in the United States for granted. Just don't play that victim. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. You don't have to do it. Just buck up, take responsibility for it, and move through that issue. And you'll grow, you'll become a better person, and you'll have more joy and experience a better life. I firmly believe that. Just be smart about it, and don't let that childcare cost ruin your day or your week, or your life. You should enjoy the kids as they're growing up. It goes so quick. Let me tell you, it goes so quick. You don't want to miss out on anything. So number 8, job security is no longer guaranteed. Well, I don't know if it ever was. It wasn't. In my day, it wasn't guaranteed. Maybe, I don't know, maybe my grandpa back in the early 1900s, it was guaranteed, but not for me, it wasn't. So that hasn't changed, but it's probably not as easy. I mean, when I was in my work years, most people worked for one or maybe two companies, and they stuck around for longer. You'd stay with a company for 10, 20 years. It wasn't uncommon for that. Nowadays, people hop and jump and ship every year just to move for another buck or two. And I don't see a problem with that really, but it's a different thing. It's a whole different world now with that. And it's one of those things that you just really gotta understand where you fit in the value chain. And again, we talked about this yesterday a little bit. It's not the IQ really. It's IQ is important in intelligence quotient, but today I think having the EQ, the emotional quotient, working on that so that you're developing relationships with people, not only within your work sphere, but outside your work sphere, outside of where you're spending most of your time, and evolve and grow your network for yourself, and that will build so much more equity in relationships for yourself as you go. So this job security thing isn't about being stuck; it's about learning how to grow through that and learning how to become somebody who's hireable no matter what the situation is. Become somebody who's valuable. Even if you don't have a job, you can do things to generate income. And that's really, I think, what makes it so special here in the United States is that you can do that. You can do that. Some countries you can't. So you're stuck, but here you're not. So take advantage of that. What's it say? Job security is no longer guaranteed. Economic shifts and automation have created a workforce where job security feels elusive. Layoffs, short term contracts, and underemployment are common realities for millennials and Gen Z. This lack of stability contrasts sharply with the lifetime careers many boomers enjoy. Yeah. Making financial planning far more challenging for today's workers. Yeah, yeah, far more challenging, but there's far more opportunity too. I see. Being at my age, I see so much more opportunity to do things. And if you're sitting on the pity pot saying, "Oh, I can't do that," you know, I'm stuck. Well, I'm sorry, but that's wrong. That's just a bad attitude. You got to fix that because there's so much that you can do to get over that hump and not be worried about job security anymore. In fact, it's necessary. I was fired several times. I can admit that easily now because it's a learning experience. But it's something that happens to a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people get replaced with, like this article talks about. Um, you've got automation, economic shifts, and automation. It's like your job gets replaced by some kind of automation, and that happens a lot. Or your job gets sent overseas. That happened in my day. Um, my production jobs were moving, so I moved from manufacturing engineering into sales, and I had to because my factory was closing. So I was like, well, what am I going to do? Well, I'll get into sales, and I enjoyed that. So it worked out for me, but not for everybody. There's other ways to make money. So you got to figure out what that is. And just because your job isn't secure doesn't mean it's an excuse to go not do anything or feel sorry for yourself. That's bullshit. Don't do that. It's just not. It's not a good strategy. So job security no longer guaranteed. Never was, in my view. So get over it. And then side hustles are essential, not optional. Ah, there you go. Side hustles. Many younger workers take on side hustles to cover basic expenses and pay off debt. This often means juggling multiple income streams and working far more hours than a typical 9 to 5. While boomers may view side hustles as entrepreneurial ventures, for today's generation, they're often necessary for survival. Yeah, but you can find side hustles that will pay you a lot if you're good at it and you find one that works really well. Um, work it, be diligent, be consistent, learn it, and add value, and you'll do just fine. So, yeah, that's really a good lesson there. Side hustles are essential, not optional. Getting that income while you sleep, that income that comes in with passive or residual income streams. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to work every day, as you would a job. But yeah, you gotta hustle a bit to make that happen. So that's okay. And number 10 is credit card debt often covers basic needs. So what is that? For many younger people, credit cards aren't just for luxuries. They're lifelines. Rising living costs force millennials and Gen Z to rely on credit for essentials like groceries, rent, and utilities. This leads to high interest debt cycles and difficult to break, further compounding financial stress. Yeah, yeah. Well, we had that in my day too. Credit, you got to be responsible for the credit you take out. And if you're spending more than you make, there's an old saying that if you're digging a hole, you got to stop digging. The hurrier I go, the behinder I get. One of those things. It's basically taking that idea of understanding what you have, what your income is, and what your expenses are, and being creative to, if you need to be, to not spend more than you make and not get into bankruptcy court. That's not a fun deal. So be aware of that as you're moving into this, especially the Gen Zs, the younger ones. It's a wake up call to it's like, oh man, this is not easy. Help! So you can do it though, just one day at a time. Just step through it. You'll be fine. So let's see, what's the next one? I think that was it. Oh, number 11. Here we go. The cost of digital necessities is significant. Yeah, costs are going up. While boomers grew up without smartphones, streaming services, and internet bills, these are non negotiable expenses for younger generations. These tools are essential for work, education, and staying connected. However, their recurring costs add up, creating another financial strain for the boomers might not fully appreciate. Yes, sir. Well, yeah, that's something to your cell phone. I've had to carry a couple of these around from time to time. It's expensive, but you know what? They work pretty well, and they keep your life going, and you stay on top of things with these tools. So they're important to have. Um, so find a way to access the expenses of this item and get paid for it. Well, how do you do that? Well, you can come talk to me. I know a way to do it. So let me know if you want to get paid for using your cell phone. Then contact me, DM me. I can get you set you up with a way to do it. Same with healthcare. So these essential services are necessities. That's why they're essential. And but they cost money. So find a way to get yourself into a position where you're getting paid to use these services. And I happen to have a way to do that. So if you're interested, hit me up. So number 12, climate change is impacting financial priorities. Hmm. Millennials and Gen Zs are grappling with the financial impact of climate change, from increased insurance premiums to the cost of sustainable living choices. These challenges shape their budgets and priorities. Unlike boomers who may have felt less urgency, younger generations must allocate resources to access or address these pressing environmental concerns. Okay, let's see. I do see that there's several insurance companies, like here in California, that are not insuring properties anymore because of the fires and earthquake issues that we have, and the costs for rebuilding here are so high. So they're moving out of the state and not offering insurance here. So yeah, it's a problem. I don't know if that's climate change necessarily, but it's definitely something that's impacting a lot of people, increasing the risk and reducing the livability of the state, I think, for a lot of people. So, uh, yeah, I guess the solution to that is make more money, so you don't have to worry about it. Just pay your house off and put a bunch of money in the account so that you can buy a new house if you need it. Self insure. That's not a practical solution for most people, but uh, yeah, you might have to move out of state if you can't get a house that's insured. So yeah, climate change. And then 13, what's 13? Rising costs of basic goods make budgeting a challenge. From groceries to utilities, basic necessities have become more expensive. Today's generations often find themselves stretching every dollar just to cover essentials. This leaves little room for savings for discretionary spending, creating financial stress that many boomers may not fully grasp. Recognizing this reality can foster greater empathy across generations. Rising costs of basic goods make budgeting a challenge. So yeah, groceries to utilities. It's expensive to live just about anywhere anymore. And so understanding how to make money and how to save money and how to stay healthy are really topics that I want to talk about more and more as we go. And my show coming up, I'm going to do another one on Friday, the Wealthy Healthy Live show. And I'm going to talk about wealth and health and get into some specifics about that. So hope you can join me. Um, and this episode, I'm thinking, is about done because we're through with that list. And so I hope you enjoyed that. I did. And thanks, Craig, for giving me some feedback on my microphone. See you all again. I'm going to be on again tomorrow. I'll come on with a different subject. And we'll say hi and bye. See ya.